So now we come on to the Paladin cards. So I guess the first Paladin card we have is the Mass Outdoor Peacekeeper. Is Adric the Pure, the 7 mana 3/7. Change all enemy minions attack to 1. I don't
Yeah,
particularly think it's that good.
no. 7 mana 3/7 is awful stats.
It
The text needs to be really good.
mm,
Um, and the text is good, but I don't think it's that good. Like, I'm not entirely sure when you play this card. As in, if you play this against an aggro deck which has lots of creatures, then firstly, being able to get to turn 7 and play a super slow minion like this is a luxury that you probably won't have. And if you remove, like, if you turn 5 creatures' health to attack to 1, like, you're still probably dead to an aggro deck. They're still going to keep hitting your face. So I don't think it's that good there. The only time this is good is if your opponent has several big minions, um, in which case you get value. But I don't think this is reliable enough.
I agree. Even if that was like 6 mana, I mean, debatably, even a 5 mana, would it be that good as 5? Do you think you'd play it as 5 mana?
5 mana, yeah, definitely maybe. The 5 mana slot is pretty weak, and this card is powerful. So at 5 mana, probably would see some play. Because it's only 2 mana more than Aldor Peacekeeper, and Aldor Peacekeeper is a great card, and for that you're getting 4 extra health and a stronger battle cry. But it's not 5 mana; it's 7 mana, and at 7 mana, I don't think it's good enough.
Yeah, and I guess you won't be normally having there won't be that many minions to deal with unless it's a heavy aggro deck, in which case you want to be consecrating Equality, Venging Wrath,
Yeah,
Pyromancer, which are
yeah,
much better cards than this
yeah.
in those situations.
I mean, the dream is your opponent is a handlock, and they play out all their. They do Molten Giant, or they've already got a Mountain Giant in play, whatever. And they've got all of those big cards, and then you play Yadric the Pure. But how often is that going to happen? And even then, you've got a big board you still haven't fully dealt with. So I don't know.
Mm.
Paladin has good removal. I don't think this card's good enough.
The I think in Arena it's better than it would be in Constructed because Arena is very minion combat dominated.
Yeah, agreed.
So I think it's given how specific legendaries abilities are and how thus when they're put in Arena a lot of some very good cards are rendered very bad.
Yeah,
I think it's average to above average.
yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay. So another very interesting card, perhaps the maybe one of the most interesting, Mysterious Challenger. So it's a 6 mana 6/6. So we're below the gold standard of a Boulder Fist Ogre. So we gotta hope that there's a decent text, and it's not
It's good.
terrible.
The text is good, or at least it's interesting. You just have to think about what secrets are you going to run, because the secrets in general, the problem with a Paladin secret deck is it's fine if you draw them out from this 6 mana card, but if you draw a 1 mana Paladin secret in your hand and you have to play it as a 1 mana secret, like it's normally not good enough to make it worth the card. Like you'd rather have something else.
Yeah,
Um, so you need to be playing good enough secrets that it's not a disaster when you draw them. So maybe you play Avenge.
Avenge is definitely the one. I mean, Avenge, yes.
Maybe you play the new Competitive Spirit secret. We'll see in a moment.
Redemption and
Uh,
Noble Sacrifice are edgy, I guess.
yeah, Noble Sack maybe. I don't know.
And then the others are not really particularly.
I mean, yeah, I definitely want to try out chucking this thing into a Paladin deck with all the secrets, and then just seeing what happens when
Because
you play 2 of these bad boys. Um,
there are 5 secrets out at the moment, and then when Grand Tournament comes out, there's going to be a 6th secret. So I guess the dream in a way is 6 mana 6/6 summon put 6 secrets into play, and that's like whoa.
that's really good, obviously.
But
Um,
you'd have to sacrifice so many cards to be running that, and what happens if you draw this card later on? Like in order for that to happen, you just got to not draw your secrets and then draw your Mysterious Challenger at basically turn 6.
yeah,
I
this card doesn't easily slot into any Paladin deck at the moment because you need to be running sufficient secrets to make this worth it. Like if you're getting 1 secret, I don't think it's worth it. If you're getting 2, maybe that's worth it. Depends. If you're getting 3 and above, I think it's definitely like you're getting value from this card. 2 is probably enough.
But then you've got to find cards to replace for those.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a deck that can use it enough, so it would need a specific deck. I don't think it will happen, but I think it's a really cool card.
I think if that was a neutral card and that could be put in Mage, it'd be a very different story.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That'd be an insane card.
Yeah, but Mage Secrets cost 3 and are really good in general. So
yeah, I guess in Arena, this isn't the worst thing you can get. It's not great, but like Boulder Fist Ogre is like really strong in Arena.
yeah, in Arena this is basically a 6/6, so average to below average,
Yeah.
or maybe just average. Boulder Fist Ogre is above average, so
All right.
maybe average.
So next up we have Enter the Coliseum. So this is an interesting card. I guess the dream with this is you outdoor their threat and then you play Enter the Coliseum. Because then say bye to their like rag, for example. But
Yeah, maybe, or you just do this and then you outdoor what's left.
But yeah, again, this is almost in the sense of Age of the Pure. It's really slowish. It's it's really costly. There are potentially much better. I guess it
And it's not full removal.
Yeah,
like you still leave a big threat up, which you have to deal with in some way afterwards.
And Death Rattle still triggers as well.
Yeah, I think when you've already got Equalities, Consecration, Pyromancer,
Avenging Wrath.
Yeah, then I don't think you play this card. But it's a good removal option that they have, but I don't know. The number of minions you have to kill to make this worth it, and you can't even kill all of them, so they need to have like 3 or 4 minions, which you on the board. And yeah, I don't know. I think you put in the other removal spells first, and I don't think there's really space for this card.
I agree. In Arena, I don't think it's very impressive either, because you won't be able to.
Yeah.
You won't even be able to get any sort of synergy off with outdooring and stuff like that to try and best maximize your.
I think it's okay in Arena though, because if you're behind on the board, you can use this to kill their stuff. I think it's like average.
I guess
maybe.
it's another option for Paladin, because at the moment it's either a lot of decks that you need to draw Consecration, or
in Arena it's not that bad, right? Because if you've got nothing on your side of the board or one thing on your side of the board, you play this card with no detriment to yourself. And if after their turn they've got like 3 things, then maybe this card's good enough.
Yeah.
Or 4 things. So I think it's okay in Arena. But.
Okay, so next we have Tusker Jouster. Now, this card is this is a good card. I think it's a very good card.
I think it's a very good card. And I also think it looks fantastic. Like, I love the Warhorse riding on the tortoise. That's great.
Yeah.
Or the turtle.
I think not to mention if that Joust goes off, like, they're running Antique Healbot at the moment, right? And that's considered a really strong card. If that Joust goes off, that's insane.
Yeah. I think this is exactly the kind of Joust card that has a chance to be viable. Like, the Joust cards that are bad unless the Joust goes off, in which case they're great, are the kind of cards that are maybe not going to be viable. The kind of cards that are good unless the Joust goes off, in which case they're great, are the cards that might be good enough for Constructed.
Yeah.
And this, a 5-mana 5/5, it wouldn't see play in Paladin, but it's not the end of the world. Like, it's okay. A 5-mana 5/5 restore 7 health to your hero is like really, really great.
Yeah, I mean it's especially given how, as you said, a lot of the issues with the Joust card is you don't win a draw. So most of the time when you Joust, unless you're if you're matched against like an equally control-y deck as yours, then most of the time you're going to lose that Joust. And thus you're faced with problems like the 6-mana 5/6 that is a meh card by itself, but if the Joust goes off, it's a really good card. It's a 6-mana 5/6 Taunt and Divine Shield. But if the Joust is lost, then that's a almost dead card.
Yeah, the other thing I think is good about this card is that the effect you really care about when you're against aggro, and the effect is much more likely to trigger if you're against aggro.
Yeah.
And against control, a 5-mana 5/5 is not awful. I think this card will definitely be tried out and may be good enough to replace Anti-Killbot. I think it's up there. It's definitely that good. It's a really strong card.
In Arena, this is also a really strong card as well because there are some really poor options in the 5-mana slot you can get.
Yeah, and also just so the two things to compare it to are Anti-Killbot and Guardian of Kings.
Yes.
And when you compare this card to Guardian of Kings, you realize that when the joust goes off, this card is just insane.
Yeah, and like Guardian of Kings is a really good pick in Arena.
Yeah.
As well. So yeah, when the joust goes off, it's 2 mana less, and it restores more health. Except for it just has 1 less health, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So I think this is a really good card, and is almost exactly the sort of card Paladin needs.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good card.
Okay. Alright. Go get a charger. I'll just edit.
Alright, one sec.
Okay, so I guess next up we have Argent Lance. Now, it's a 2 mana 2/2 that jousts, and if it wins the joust, it gives it 1 more durability. I think this card is bad.
I agree. I think if you want this card effect, you play. Is it called Cogmaster? No. What's that card? What's the card?
Which card?
The 3 mana Paladin card. Paladin weapon.
Oh, Coghammer.
Coghammer. There we are. Yeah, I think you play that Coghammer, and I'm not even sure 2 mana 2/3 is good enough. Like Paladin has so many weapons, and Coghammer is arguably better than a 2 mana 2/3. And this isn't even a 2 mana 2/3. This is like in
2
general,
mana
like
2/3 some of the time.
yeah, some of the time. Even if it's 50%, which means your deck has to be slower than theirs because if you're running the same deck, it's more like 40% or lower because you lose draws. Even if it's 50%, like this card's not good enough.
Yeah. Okay. In Arena, I guess it's okay. It's not the worst thing to draw. It deals with the 2 mana.
Yeah, in Arena, it's okay because weapons are good in Arena. They gain you card advantage. Like a 2 mana 2.5 is maybe okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, overall this card is meh. It is bad in constructed and meh in Arena.
Yeah.
Okay. So competitive spirit. That's an interesting secret.
Yeah, I think it's quite good. One important thing to note is this card doesn't go off if you have no minions. So you get at least 1/1 value out of this card.
Yeah.
But that's probably not enough. You probably want to be getting at least 2 minions, hopefully. If you get 3 minions, for sure you've got loads of value out of this card. 2 minions might be enough. But I think if you're running an aggressive Paladin deck, which is kind of a thing, then you might chuck in this card to buff up your board, and then it's a good card.
I guess.
So I think it's playable.
Yeah, I think it's playable. I guess the dream is the muster, quartermaster, competitive spirit, and then if that all lives a turn somehow, which I doubt it will, then you probably won.
Yeah, I think this card is good enough to be tried out. Might be good enough in some aggressive Paladin decks. It's a playable card, I think.
In Arena, I think it's strong because again, it's very minion-based combat.
Yeah, I agree.
It's one of the better.
Although the other thing to remember in Arena is because it's so minion-based, there's lots of minion trading. So your minions don't always, even if you're playing lots of minions, you don't always have that many minions at the start of your turn. But I still think it's a good card.
But yeah, it's a lot better of a card to draw than.
It's one of the best secrets in Arena.
Yeah.
That Paladin has.
That probably on par with Avenge.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Avenge is really good.
So, as with each expansion, they seem to add 1 Murloc of some kind. The 4 mana 3/4 Murloc Knight. I think this is a very good card. Even if the Inspire mechanic doesn't particularly go off on the turn you play it, you can just play it on the turn 4. And if you say each Murloc is on average, and this is being conservative, a 2/1, 2/2.
Yeah, let's say like a 2/1 maybe.
Yeah, let's be really harsh. 2/1. Then with 1 Inspire, it's already a 5. It's a 5/5 split, and
plus you get the 1/1 from your hero power, so it's a 6/6 for 6, which is okay. So if you Inspire, you get like mediocre value. If you're running a Murloc Paladin deck, you play this because there aren't that many Murlocs. This is another good one. And in a Murloc deck, a 3/4 and a 2/1 aren't really a 3/4 and a 2/1 because they probably buff other cards, and they probably get buffed by other cards. So in a Murloc deck, this is probably good enough. In a standard Paladin deck, I don't think it's good enough.
But it's worth trying it out just to see. I mean, it's a Murloc as well. So
I don't know. I don't think it's. I don't think it's good enough in a normal Paladin deck, just because that Inspire has to go off. Otherwise, it's a bad card. A 4-mana 3/4 is bad, and even if that Inspire does go off, like I don't think it's a particularly good card.
I guess
without Murloc synergy. So I don't think you run this in anything other than a Murloc Pally.
I guess the dream is you get the Murloc Knight from your Inspire, and then it just goes out of control from there.
Yeah, and then you Inspire next turn and get 2 more Murloc Knights, and then just win the game.
Yeah. In Arena, I think it's an okay pick. It's not terrible.
Okay.
It's not totally bad. It's not bad, but it's not great either.
Probably below average, maybe. Just because in Arena there's so many minions around that your 3/4, you'd have to Inspire on that turn, otherwise your 3/4 probably dies. Okay.
Okay. So, Warhorse Trainer. 3 mana 2/4, your Silver Hand recruits have +1 attack. On face value, that looks like it has some insane synergy, and could be a really good card. But I'm not sure it's as good as I thought it was when I first saw the card.
Yeah, I think that's true. I don't think it's that good. I don't think it's gonna see play. So what is Raid Leader? A 3 mana 2/2.
Yeah, 3 mana 2/2 that gives everything +1 attack.
Yeah, like a 3 mana 2/4 is significantly better than a 3 mana 2/2, but buffing everything is significantly better than Silverhand Recruits only, and Raid Leader is just absolutely not playable.
Yeah, I guess.
So, I don't think this card is. I don't know. So maybe how many Silverhand Recruits do you have to have out? Obviously, if you play Master and then you can get this out, then it's fine.
I think it's value if everything from Master lives.
Yeah, that's the other thing you have to remember. Unlike Quartermaster, if you get to late game, you can muster Quartermaster value. This you have to muster, wait a turn, and then the Warhorse Trainer, and only then do you get value, right? Your Silverhand Recruits have to live the turn, and given they know you're playing Paladin, they don't leave minions up in case you buff them, and they just definitely don't leave Silverhand Recruits up when they can avoid it because Quartermaster is already a good card.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
I don't think this card's good enough.
I mean, I guess the real dream. You see that first time, you're like, whoa, Muster, Quartermaster, wait a turn, following turn, Warhorse Trainer, insane value. But the chances of that happening are so slim. I mean, you can even consider what if they just the card so they can get 2 1/1s now, and then they Warhorse Trainer. But even still,
yeah, it's too situational. I don't think it's good enough.
Yeah, too situational, and I think there are much better things that can go in that slot.
And also the fact that it's only a temporary buff, like only while you have this guy in play, is a big deal.
I guess it's really competing with Outdoor Peacekeeper for that spot in the 3 mana slot, and I don't think it can contend anywhere near with Outdoor.
No.
Okay, so next is Shield of Champions. So I guess the first thing you can see is why is that? You might think why is it so expensive given there's already a card that for 1 mana gives something Divine Shield and 1 mana gives something +3 attack. But I guess paying 1 mana to bundle the 2 cards together seems fairish.
Yeah.
But
like often when you combine cards, they become much better. So think of the fact that you've got Tazdingo which is a 4 mana 3/5, and you've got Goldshaft Footman, which is a 1 mana 1/2. And Tazdingo's okay, Goldshaft Footman's awful, but Sludge Belcher, which is basically them combined, is a really, really good card. So when you combine cards together, you can't just really split it up and see how good it is, because you only have to use 1 card for this rather than 2. And I think this card's good in aggro decks. I think it's playable.
It's playable. I guess there definitely experimentation would be put in place. I think the only problem you'd ever see with an aggro deck is considering whether or not it's too slow. I mean, in a way, you could consider this as a Scarlet Crusader with 0 health almost, and the Scarlet Crusader is a good card.
Yeah, I think this card will be tried out in aggro decks and might be good enough, because having 3 more attack and Divine Shield often means you can trade up massively, like 2-drop for stuff 5 or 6-drop, and then you still got a big minion that they need to deal with. So I think this card is okay. I think it's good, but we'll see if it gets played.
In Arena, it's
In Arena, I think it's good.
I think it's strong. Yeah, it's a
Because
good card in Arena.
the chances that you'll have a minion and that you can trade up using this card are high.
Especially given how strong Scarlet Crusader is in Arena. The divine shields on the high attack minions are brilliant.
Yeah. This card is strong.
Strong. Okay, so I guess that concludes the Paladin cards.